The Final Act of Juliette Willoughby is a novel in
three timelines. 1938 Paris, where runaway British heiress Juliette Willoughby is living with her older married artist lover Oscar.
And she's an artist too, isn't she?
Yeah. And they're part of the Surrealist group in Paris. So she exhibits her masterpiece, self-portrait as Sphinx, in a real exhibition that happened, the 1938 International Surrealist exhibition, but then pulls it out after one night, we don't know why, and very soon after, she and Oscar die in a studio fire, which also destroys the painting. Then we flash forward
to the 1990s, where two students, Patrick and Caroline,
art history students at Cambridge,
who are in the process of falling in love, also find these clues. They find the diary of Juliette Willoughby's, which suggests that there might have been a bit more to the fire than they suspect. It may not have been an accident, and drops a hint, possibly, that the painting may have survived.
Yeah.
Third strand.
Modern day Dubai. Patrick is now an art dealer based there. He has just sold the rediscovered self-portrait as Sphinx, the painting, for 42 million, belonging to his friend Harry, who is the only surviving member of the Willoughby family.
So he's a relative of Juliette.
A relative of Juliette's. And shortly afterwards, he is hauled off by the police for the murder, the brutal murder of Harry in his hotel room. And so we are unpacking how all these things are linked and how the painting may hold the secret to all of them.
So basically, 3 timelines, 3 crimes.
A love story.
A love story, all linked by one painting.
Yeah.
And then it all turns out to fit together. Why we wrote it like this? Well, the previous novel, The Club, had been set on this island over a single weekend, and written during lockdown. So this one, we thought, okay, let's do the opposite of that. Have it all over the world. Dubai, where you used to live, Paris in the 30s, England in the 90s, Rome all over the place.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the things that drew to the Surrealists.
There's a lot in a lot of their work, especially the women actually of the group. There's a lot of personal symbolism in Surrealist art, and actually the sort of basis of self-portrait as Sphinx. There's an amazing painting by an artist called Lenore Feeney called Little Hermit Sphinx, where it's a very eerie picture, but there's a little kind of cat with a woman cat who is in a really dark landscape, and kind of lots of eerie little things are happening around her. And there's another artist called Lenora Carrington, who is herself an English heiress who ran away first to Paris and then moved to Mexico and lived to quite an old age, paints these amazing kind of Hieronymus Bosch-esque canvases where there's lots of little kind of mythological scenes playing out around kind of the central character. And so that's sort of where we drew inspiration from. And obviously the little scenes in the painting that we created all are linked. They have symbolic significance for the secret that is painted into the painting.
So it needed to be quite a kind of complicated,
intricate
painting for the characters then to be piecing together what it all means and how it fits together with her life and the events of her life.
We, like most middle-aged people in England, have National Trust memberships. So
that might need explaining.
Yes. So the National Trust own or look after a lot of English country houses. So they, often if a family can no longer kind of afford the upkeep on a house, or there's sort of it's of historical significance or importance, the National Trust will look after it. So we spend a lot of time wandering around those, and a lot of them, or a certain number of them, have Victorians love to collect Egyptian stuff, And so, you know, there'll be like a random sphinx in the garden, or a kind of Cleopatra's needle type thing, or you know, Egyptian style columns or collections. And I think that particularly is what inspired us. You know, the Juliette's father, who's a sort of aristocratic English MP, in the book, is an Egyptological collector. So a bit like Lord Carnarvon, who, you know, funded the Tutankhamun expedition, and had.
So she's grown up in a house that's not just a kind of glamorous old Downton house. It's full of all this creepy, strange stuff that he's accumulated and acquired by various means anyway. So there's a Gothic-y quality to it, isn't there?
And so yes, that you know, that is, we wrote a piece for Crime Reads actually on you know, on where you can kind of see this stuff, but that, you know.
And also, I guess it gave Juliette something to kind of rebel against and to flee away from. So I guess we wanted her dad to be some kind of quite powerful guy, because, you know, she's fled to Paris, but in some strange way, for reasons we don't know at the start, she's still worried that he's got the power to reach out and kind of drag her back. So he needed to be
Quite a looming presence.
Quite a looming presence.